Hello students, welcome back. So students, today we will begin with a very new lesson from our English grammar book, which is Concord or Agreement, or you might call it as Subject-Verb Agreement. So students, before understanding Concord or Subject-Verb Agreement, we will know what is subject and verb in a sentence and how to identify any subject and verb in the sentence. Then we will understand what exactly is subject-verb agreement and we will learn the basic rules surrounding it. So let's begin. So students, what is the subject in the sentence? The subject of the sentence is the person, place, thing or idea that is doing or being something. And what is a verb in the sentence? It is the action performed by the subject or state of being. Now, let's understand it with an example. Ajay plays cricket regularly. Now, to identify the subject, ask here who is performing the action of playing. It is Ajay. So, Ajay is the subject. And to identify the verb, ask the question, what subject is performing? It is playing. So plays is the verb here in this case. So in this way, we can identify the subject and the verb in the sentence by asking these questions. So students, based on point of view, the subject may be in first person, second person and third person. We all know that in first person we have I and we, in second person we have you, and in the third person we have he, she, it, they, etc. And based on count, the subject may be singular or plural. Now let's understand the main topic of the day. What is subject-verb agreement? For making a sentence grammatically correct, a verb must agree with the subject in number. That is to say, in any sentence, singular subject must have singular verb and plural subject must have plural verb. This is the most general rule. Singular subjects must have singular verb and plural subjects must have plural verbs. Students, please note that this statement holds true only when subject is in the third person. Now, let's look into the examples to make things clear. Let's look into this example where subject is singular. That monkey eats banana. So here, subject is monkey, which is singular. So the verb will also be singular. The verb in this case is eats. Now let's look into one more example. This car goes fast. Here the subject is car, which is singular. So as per the rule, the verb will also be singular. In this case, it is goes. Now, let's look into some examples where subject is plural. Those monkeys eat bananas. Here, subject is monkeys, which is plural in form. So the verb will also be plural. So in this case, it is eat. Let's look into the next example. These cars go fast. So here the subject is cars, which is plural in form. So the verb will also be in plural. So students, please remember that in this rule, singular subjects will have singular verb and plural subjects will have plural verb. Now, students, please note that we have seen only examples where third person is used. Now, let's look into examples where subject is not in the third person. Let's see with an example. I read newspaper regularly. Here, I is singular, but verb read is in plural form. Let's look into one more example. We read newspaper regularly. Here, we is in plural form and the verb read is in plural form. So students, in case of first and second person, there is no rule of singular subjects taking into singular verbs and plural subjects, plural verb. Okay, please remember this concept also. Students, there are some important rules related to subject-verb agreement, which we will discuss now. So let's start with rule number 1, which says that two singular subjects connected by and requires a plural verb. So let's understand it with a simple diagram. Here, singular subject 1 is joined with singular subject 2 and it is joined by and. So it requires a plural verb. For example, gold and silver are precious metal. Here, gold and silver are singular subjects, but here combining them both makes the meaning of those words plural. So we used are, which is plural form. Let's look into one more example. He and I were playing. Here also, combining two singular subjects, that is he and I, makes the combination plural. So we have used a plural verb here, which is were. But students, there are some exceptions to this rule also. If the noun suggests one idea to the mind or refer to the same person or things, the verb is singular. For example, bread and butter is his only food. Here, bread and butter is a combination which is considered as same thing only. Okay, that is one thing. So here we use is. Let's look into one more example of this kind. Time and tide waits for no one. Here we are using time and tide as a single unit for communicating the same idea. So we have used a singular verb here, waits. Is it clear? Okay. Let's look into the next rule, which says that two or more singular subjects joined by or nor require singular verb. Let's see this rule with a simple diagram. Here, singular subject 1 is joined by singular subject 2 and it's joined by or nor. So it requires a singular verb. For example, neither food nor water was found there. Here, singular subject food and water is joined by nor. So we use singular verb was. Let's look into another example. Either the cat or mouse has been there. Here, singular subject cat and mouse is joined by or. So we use the singular verb has. Now let's look into a different scenario in this case. If a singular subject and a plural subject is joined by or nor, the verb is plural and plural subject must be placed by the nearer verb. For example, neither the chairman nor the directors are present. Here, the word chairman is singular, but the word directors is plural. So we used the plural verb are. Please note here that the plural subject directors is placed before are. So now let's move to the next rule. subjects joined by or nor are of different persons. The verb agrees with the nearer. Let's see this rule with a simple diagram. So, subjects joined by or nor are of different persons and the verb agrees with the nearer. Let's see some examples to understand the rules. Neither you nor he is to be blamed. Here, subject you is in second person and subject he is in third person. But the verb is nearer to the subject he. So, verb is used. Let's look into one more example. Either you or I am mistaken. Here, am is used, which is nearer to the subject I in first person. Okay, so let's look into the next rule. It says that words like either, neither, each, everyone, many, so these must be followed by a singular verb. Okay, for example, every one of the boys loves to ride the car. Here we have used a singular verb, that is loves, because the word everyone is used here. Let's look into one more example of this kind. Many a man has done so. Here we have used a singular verb has, because the word many is used. Clear? Okay, so now let's look into the next rule. It says that some nouns, plural in form but singular in meaning, take singular verb. For example, mathematics is the branch of study in every school. Here the noun mathematics is in plural form but it is singular in meaning. So we have used is here. Let's look into one more example of this kind. The news is true. Here the noun news is plural but singular in meaning. So we have used is here. Now the next rule. Here it says that some nouns singular in form but plural in meaning takes a plural verb. For example, 1 dozen apple cost 1000 rupees. Here the word dozen is in singular form but it is plural in meaning. So we use the word plural verb cost here. Let's look into one more example. The couple are going out this week. So here the word couple is in singular form but it is plural in meaning. So we have used the word are here. Okay, so the next rule states that when a singular noun or pronoun is joined to a second noun or pronouns by, with, or as well as, the verb is in the singular. Let's understand it with some examples. He with his brother has gone to school. So here singular pronoun he is joined by with singular noun brother. So here the verb is to singular. Let's now look into another example. She as well as her friend was present there. Here also we find the same thing. Here also the verb is singular as singular pronoun she is joined by as well as with the singular noun friend. So students, this was all about the subject verb agreement. Hope you